I'm learning to trust myself even more in my 60s. After years of regret, of treating my body like it was invisible, not having the courage to speak up for myself, and ignoring my intuition, I'm now focusing on how all of that can provide a roadmap for where I'm headed. If you've spent decades putting everyone else first, ignoring your own needs, then this is for you. For far too long, I thought that everybody had more knowledge and power and wisdom than I had. I'd ask everyone's opinion before I even considered my own. Rebuilding trust with myself has taken time, and I'm still a work in progress. Do I actually want to go to this event? What do I really feel like eating right now? In this moment, do I need rest, or can I push through just a little? And then came the hard part, honouring my first honest answer, even if it did disappoint somebody else, even if it meant not being easy or agreeable anymore. Over time, those tiny acts have become evidence that I'm finally listening to myself again. But it's easy to slip back into old patterns, and I most certainly do. The biggest part to starting to make the change was acknowledging that I needed to. Acknowledging that I did, in fact, regret the way I'd treated my body, the way I'd ignored my intuition, and the way I'd been too afraid to use my voice. Gradually, over time, there was a shift. Each time I listened to my intuition, and I acted on it, and I spoke up, and I asked for my needs to be met. I started trusting myself a little bit more. And when I do forget, or I do let my fear take over, I tell myself, it's okay, you can try again. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to get up each time and give it another go. And that compassion that I give myself is what surrounds this trust building in love. Today, I want to walk you through 3 short practices. 1 for your body, 1 for your intuition, and 1 for your voice. You can do these with me as you watch or listen. Let's start with your body. If you can, place 1 hand on your heart and 1 hand on your belly. If you're out walking or doing something else, you can just imagine this. That works too. Gently ask yourself, what does my body need from me right now? Just notice what comes up. Maybe you need to sit down. Maybe you need to stretch. Maybe you need a nice, warm, hot cup of cocoa. Or maybe your body says, I just need you to stop ignoring me. There's no wrong answer. And the first one that comes is always the right one. Your only job is to pause long enough to hear the answer and then honour it, even for 5 minutes today. That might look like actually going and making the hot cup of cocoa, taking the short walk, getting down on the floor and stretching your body, picking up your book to read a few more pages, doing a painting, booking that doctor's appointment you've been putting off. That small action is a tiny vote in the direction of your body's wisdom. Now let's look at intuition. I want you to start an intuition log. This is something I did many years ago, and it was incredibly helpful for helping me to be able to tune in to my intuition more. Once a day, add to the list. Write down the moment you felt the nudge, whether you honoured it or overrode it. This is about learning to notice the tiny whispers that are our intuition. For example, you might write down, my gut said, don't say yes to going to that event, but I went anyway. Or, call this person, and that's exactly what I did. For now, the most important thing is the noticing, not so much the action you took. Yes, that's important, But to learn to recognize your intuition, you need to be able to hear those nudges. No judgment. You're not grading yourself. You're simply paying attention. Over time, you'll start to see patterns. You'll hear the nudges. You'll notice how often your intuition taps you on the shoulder and how life feels different when you follow it. That awareness alone starts to build trust because you're proving to yourself, I do have inner wisdom and I'm learning to listen to it. And finally, your voice. So many of us have for decades softened what we say, or we've not said it at all, to keep the peace, to avoid conflict, to be nice. Today we're going to practice something very simple. Out loud, if you can, ask yourself, what do I need right now? Not what would make everybody else comfortable. What do I actually need? Then pause. Give yourself a few seconds of quiet. When the answer comes, I want you to speak it out loud, even if it's to an empty room. I need help. I need to rest. I need to say no to that invitation. I need to ask for my needs to be met. I need to be honest about how I'm feeling. That's how we start, privately, gently, but truthfully. So now you have 3 tiny practices: a check-in with your body, an intuition log, and speaking your needs out loud. Here's the invitation for this week. Choose one situation where you're willing to let your intuition have the final say. It could be what to eat for dinner. It could be whether to say yes or no to plans. It could be choosing rest over doing one more thing. Let your inner voice cast the deciding vote. And then come back and tell me in the comments, what decision did you let your intuition choose? If you'd like help with any of this, I do one-on-one coaching and there's a link in the description. See you tomorrow.